Are you itching for a good story? Laughter among friends, maybe even a mystery or two? Well, you're in luck. Fire Breathing Kittens is a standalone Dungeons & Dragons podcast. Each episode is a separate 3-hour-long story, like a movie for your ears, so you can listen to these adventures in any order you like. So, join us on a real play D&D quest as we solve mysteries, attempt comedic banter, and enjoy friendship. Fire Breathing Kittens podcast. Fantasy, action, mystery, friendship.
Before we start the episode, I'd like to talk about something important to me. So, November 22nd, Mark Calloway, better known as The Undertaker, to those of you who know about pro wrestling, had a public retirement ceremony. Yeah, so I happen to be a very big wrestling fan, and it's because of The Undertaker back in 2008. So, the reason I thought I'd talk about this is because I owe my love of I owe quite a bit to the character, in fact. Not just my love of pro wrestling, but perhaps my love of storytelling as well, and writing stories, because it was when I saw The Undertaker in action, and I read into the character and fell in love. That was when I realized how much I actually loved spooky and scary things. And those of you who have read my books, you probably know that I am. A lot of my stories are very scary, graphic, very violent and the kind. And I kind of owe that to him. So, I guess I just want to say a quick thank you to The Undertaker, because I might not be a writer without him. And a great deal of my characters, across my fictional universe, the one I intend to build, do draw a lot of inspiration from him. So, thank you, Taker. His character lasted 30 years. So he got to work alongside wrestling greats like Hulk Hogan, The Ultimate Warrior, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Edge, Batista, John Cena, and a whole lot of other legends that I can't, that they deserve their place. And while he was never really the top guy, he was always a very big attraction, much like Andre the Giant. His status in the company was often, it was never the final boss in most wrestling storylines. He was more like like in a video game where you have an optional sub-boss in a side quest, right? You don't have to fight this character, you don't have to beat him, but when you do, you get a whole lot of XP. That's what The Undertaker was, So, that's how I feel about him, and I wouldn't be a wrestling fan without him. Probably wouldn't be a writer without him. So, yeah. Thank you, Undertaker. Thank you, Mark Calloway. Alright, enough of that. On to the episode. Greetings, I am the mighty Master Voluminous, one of many Undertaker-inspired characters, just for your information. Teacher, commentator, and most importantly to you, storyteller. Today we will continue the Voluminous Read stories with another book. A paranormal crime thriller called Vatour, Feel Free to Die, by Gifton Yadike, available on Amazon. The city of Scotch may resemble a bustling metropolis by day, but by night it is a disease-infested carcass in the wilderness. The virus, criminals. You see, this city is ruled by its criminal underworld. You name a crime, you name a perpetrator, you will find it here. The families, terrorists, street thugs, drug dealers, murderers, rapists, you name it, corrupt politicians, all of them. They rule the roost, and if you want to survive, you need to play ball. But out of nowhere, a violent vigilante, starts slaughtering large groups of criminals left and right, destroying the status quo and sending the populace into panic. Why is he doing this, though? It could be revenge, right? For something. It could be a sense of justice. Or is he simply another psychopath with a specific taste in victims? That's what we're here to find out. Before we begin reading, I am going to list all the ways in which you may seek more content or an audience with the Master. First, check out mortiferousarcadia.blogspot.com. That is our main website. Or send an email to mortiferousarcadia@gmail.com if you wish to express how this story made you feel. Look up Mortiferous Arcadia on Facebook and Wattpad. And finally, search Master Voluminous on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Tumblr, DeviantArt, or Pinterest, and give us a follow. Vatour Feel Free to Die by Gift and Yadike is available on Amazon. Chapter 1 Freebird Avenue. Nighttime in the big city. A time when the nocturnal party animals come out to play. Parties, drugs, sex, and of course, crime. Welcome to Scotch, a bustling hellhole disguised as a thriving metropolis. This place is heaven for mobsters, gangsters, drug lords, and corrupt municipal officials alike. Only a fortunate minority can survive in this death trap without having ties to the criminal underworld. And it doesn't really matter if they want to or not. It's an unspoken rule of life in Scotch. By day, the city is relatively quiet. Criminals keep their activities as discreet as possible. Except for a bold, or possibly moronic few that keep the cops occupied, while the intelligent lowlifes go about their business. The nightlife is when things become dangerous, as is to be expected in any populated region. Unfortunately, the young and foolish of said population never seem to get the memo. Criminals always count on those naive enough, bold enough, or just plain stupid enough to take unnecessary risks when moving around at night. On an infamous back road known as Freebird Avenue, a red pickup truck drives down the empty street. The quiet of the night is continuously disrupted by the sound of loud music, whooping and hollering. The truck's passengers, a quad of young men in their early to mid-20s, perfect examples of the less discreet troublemakers and the youthfully foolish partygoers, seem to be having a celebration of some kind. They all sport a flaming tattoo on some part of their anatomy. The driver, a muscular Caucasian male, with flame tattoos all over his bald head, holds his free hand out the window. "Yo, Burnsy, toss me a cold one," he calls out. "You got it, Blaze," comes the voice of a short, dark-skinned man sitting in the back. Burnsy pulls the beer can out of the cooler box and tosses it to Blaze's open hand. Blaze opens the can with his teeth and slams his foot on the accelerator. The road party continues for another hour, the men in the truck caring little about the noise they're making. And why should they? Freebird Avenue is completely uninhabited. Everyone from the poorest, hungriest hobos to the most hardened criminals to the most dedicated police officers avoid this road at all costs. This makes it the ideal party space. The men in the truck, now incredibly drunk, trade stories and laugh. "Did you see the way that old geezer was begging?" asks a tall, tan man with a goatee. "I thought he was ready to shit himself." "I know, right?" Burnsy said before downing another beer. And then the old bastard had to up and have a heart attack on us. Hey! Remember that posh-ass school Brimstone torched last week? Hell yeah, that was awesome. A short Asian man in a gray hoodie calls back. The one named Brimstone. He appears to be the youngest in the gang. Never felt happy when I took those preppy bitches down a peg. What a way to join the Hellfire crew, am I right, boys? The bearded man states. That was even better than the time I... His praise of the young gangster's arson attack is cut short as the pickup truck abruptly stops, causing the passengers at the back to fall over, inadvertently tossing their drinks all over the place. What the fuck? What are you doing, Blaze? Sorry, Phoenix, the big man says fearfully. I thought I saw something run across the road. It was probably a fucking dog, you moron! Phoenix yells, wiping beer off of his face. Next time, run the damn thing over. Yeah, sorry, boss. Fuck up like that again and I'll make sure you are. After a lengthy and awkward silence, Phoenix sighs. Well, that's ruined. Might as well head back to the hideout. Blaze, get us out of here. Blaze doesn't respond. Burnsy calls out this time. Hey, skinhead! The boss said wheel us out. The truck doesn't budge, and Blaze still doesn't respond. Seeing an opportunity to get in the gang's good graces, the young Brimstone gets out. I'll see what his problem is, he says as he walks to the driver's window. Hey, Lummox, didn't you hear? Is all he can say as he gazes upon the big man's still frame, with what appears to be some kind of blade stuck in his forehead. But it's not the sight of the dead body at the driver's seat that shocks him most, but the skeleton sitting in the passenger seat. Wait, skeleton? Brimstone blinks briefly, and then the skeleton is gone. Hey, schoolboy! What's the holdup? He's dead, boss. What do you mean he's dead? He's telling the truth, Phoenix. This guy even had a weird knife in his head. The gangster holds up the strange blade with once inhabited his comrade's skull. He shows it to his confused ringleader. Phoenix examines the shape of the blade. The handle is straight, with curves near the bottom, but the blade is curved in a crescent moon shape, similar to the talons of a large bird of prey. How the hell did that happen? Maybe he got depressed after you scolded him, Brimstone says, stifling a laugh. Watch it, schoolboy. Burnsy seems just about ready to slit the newbie's throat. He's not about to let a new guy disrespect his friend. Gang politics is similar to that of a hyena clan. Everyone has their place. Stepping out of that place could prove fatal. Phoenix fires his gun in the air, finally having enough. I don't want to hear another peep out of you two. He climbs out of the pickup. You, he points at Burnsy. Get him out of the seat and put him in the back. He gestures at Blaze and then turns to Brimstone. And you, time to earn your keep. Drive. He gets into the passenger seat. I don't want to spend any more time in this. He pauses as he sees Burnsy's body falling off the side of the truck. Ghost town. He spends several minutes staring at the body of his comrade, throat slashed and blood forming an ever-expanding crimson puddle on the ground. Kid, Phoenix frantically calls out, Kid, get us out of here! But Brimstone doesn't respond. Phoenix turns his head, agitated. I said get us the fuck out! Holy shit! Brimstone sits completely still in the driver's seat. All seems right with him except for the fact that a blade, similar to the one found in Blaze's forehead, is sticking out from under his chin. Phoenix frantically jumps out of the window of the truck, gun in hand. Who's there? I'm not playing around. Come on out. Nothing. What do you want? Drugs? Dames? Dinero? The voice makes the tanned gangster's blood run cold. Then it runs from his hand. Hang on. Where is his hand? And the gun it was holding. His eyes slowly turn downwards. His hand lies at his feet, still clutching the handgun. The shock of seeing his severed hand comes just before the searing pain. Please. He slowly backs away, clutching his arm. I'll give you whatever you want. Anything. Just name it. Phoenix's last sight is a single black feather dropping slowly at his feet. And once again, Freebird Avenue is completely silent. Well, that was fun. Freebird Avenue actually sounds like a pretty nice place I'd like to visit sometime. And hey, Phoenix, you did say anything. I can't wait to read the rest. So there you have it, dear listeners. The first chapter of Vatour, Feel Free to Die. Be sure to let me know what you think. And if you have a story that you would like for me to read, don't be shy. Send it to me via links, anything. I'm sure it'll be wonderful. Goodbye, my listeners.